So, hello guys, welcome to Pandas Intermediate Part 5. In the previous video, we learned how groupby works using the split, apply, and combine concept. In this video, we will go one level deeper. We are going to talk about aggregation, what it really means, and how analysts use aggregated data to compare the results and make decisions. Okay, this is not about memorizing functions, this is about understanding and how real analysis work. Okay, so before writing any code that related to aggregation, let's clearly understand what is the word aggregation means. So aggregation means taking many values and reducing them into one meaningful value. For example, total sales, average salary, maximum score, or count of records. Okay. In real world analysis, we rarely look at rows. We summarize data so we can compare, evaluate, and decide. Okay. So now I already created a data set which contains department employee salary, and we are using pd.data frame to make it into a tabular form as we do in our previous video. Okay, now we are moving to aggregation. So let's start simple. Here I am calculating the basic aggregations like sum, means, okay, all that. So here I'm using the simplest form of aggregation that we used in our previous video. Here I'm adding df plus salary, then dot mean. So pandas look at salary values and returns one average salary for the entire company. It is given in float. We can round it or we can take it into an integer form. All that can be possible. But right now we are keeping it this way. And here is the salary. Now the salary is cut into an average using the word mean. Okay. Now here we need to do the sum. So for that we just use dot sum into this. Instead of salary, we just use the dot sum. So here we aggregate again, but this time we calculate the total salary cost as we see here. So it is also in the form of integer. And what if we aggregate by department? Okay, now we use only the single row, but in aggregation, while we deep dive into it, we have many other options like adding more columns, more rows into it. Okay, so for that I'm using groupby, df dot groupby. Then I'm adding the department with the salary plus the mean. So now we are aggregating salaries per department. Each department gets its own average salary. This is where comparison begins meaningful. Using a single row, we don't get insights that we can calculate or understand. But if we use group by and add some more things to it, it will reduce the number of columns. Okay, that's good for us to analyze. And this is a meaningful comparison while calculating it. So here we get the average salary a HR get in and IT person and a salesperson get. Okay. So in real analysis, one metric is never enough. As we know, it's much more interesting and complex. So I would like to introduce the multiple aggregation. That's our core part. For that, we need group by, definitely group by, and we are adding department. Then the dot ACC with curly braces and salary, then mean, min, then we can add max, and then sum. Okay. So using ACC, we calculated multiple aggregations at once. So this gives us a complete picture of each department, a maximum salary, minimum salary, and the sum of both. Okay. So everything in a single code using the word, we can aggregation or ACC. Okay. So we need to add some employee count for comparison. We already had all these things, but we need to add something more. So I would like to add an employee count. So just copy this and paste it here. Just give a comma, then add employee. Then count. Okay. Now we are combining salaries metrics with employee count, and this helps us to compare departments more fairly. Now we get how many employees get how many money and how many salaries, all this. So here we go through how aggregation works and what is aggregation, all this. We need to analyze how data works in aggregation and how to get many of the solutions for to find mean, minimum, max, sum in one snippet of code. Okay. Now we are going to comparing the results. Okay. For that, I'm naming a variable depth summary, and we are just using the same thing. Let's copy this from here. So we are adding it to this, and we just call depth summary. Yeah. Okay. At this stage, stop coding and start analyzing. Which department has the highest average salary, or which department has the highest total cost? So these insights come from aggregation, not raw data. We are just analysis, and we done everything clearly. Okay. So as an analyst, we should go through all these steps and to know what's happening. You can see the table column is well arranged, and it's separated by employee and aggregation. All this. So as we know, now we are in our intermediate level, and we need to know more about it in our advanced Python and Pandas class. Okay. So moving back, we are going to calculate the ranking departments by salary. For that, we are using just department. Because we need to rank the department. Group by the department, then dot and salary dot me, then dot sort values as ascending. That's equal to false. Okay. So sorting aggregation results helps us rank departments, and this is common decision making pattern in analysis. I mean analytics. Okay. Because it's a small data or a data frame, it can be seems like so simple and easy. But while you're working with the larger data, it might be a little complicated, and the names, the keywords, all should be understandable, and you should know how to use and what to use. Here we add sorting values to get the ascending as false, but if we just give the sorting values, we will get it as descending, I guess. Okay, so it's by default it count it as descending. Okay, so that's all for today. Actually, beginner pandas focused on individual rows, intermediate pandas focus on summaries, comparisons, decisions, all that. And we do aggregation, which is one of the most important skills for any data analyst. This is much more easier data, so you can work with it, and also you can just import some CSV files using files and import it from here and work on that. That will be much more helpful for you to deal with real world data and all. Okay. So in Pandas Intermediate Part 5, we learned how aggregation works and how to compare groups using multiple metrics. In the next video, we will take this further by learning sorting, ranking, priority analysis, all that. Okay, I know it's a bit repeating, but you should know how to use and where to use all these things. As we said in the beginning, aggregation gives us a simple things like total, mean, average, all this. And while doing this, we will get the idea of how all this works. Okay. So that's all for today. You should go through all this and understand how it works. Also, I would like to talk about aggregation. That's like if we take many values and reduce them into one meaningful value, where we use aggregation. And as we already said, total sales or average salary or maximum score or count of records, all that are example for aggregation. And as we say in real world analysis, we rarely look at rows. So To summarize data, we need to compare, evaluate, and decide things. Okay, because of that, we use aggregation. Okay, I hope everything is clear. Okay, see you then.